Well, it's Saturday, May the 30th, 2020, as I narrate this video. If nothing had changed, you'd be writing your exam in 1 week and I'd be posting a different video. But the exam is now in December. We're coming up on the 1st of June. We've had some time off. It's now time to get back at it. And I haven't done one of these reminder videos for a while, but here we go. 189 days to the exam. Now you hear that and you think that's a long time away, but let's just break it down into smaller pieces here. Take off 28 days for review, because that's a minimum, by the way. When I say 28 days of review, 35 to 42 might be a little bit better. 28 is a minimum, which means you've got 161 days for content, or roughly 23 weeks. And again, that sounds like a long time. That's just short of 6 months. But you do have 48 readings to get through at level 2. That's 2 readings per week. The average length of a reading at level 2 is about 45 pages. That's average. Some are shorter, you can get through them quicker. Some are longer. There are some 80, 90 page readings in there. And level 2 has some difficult sections. Fixed income is challenging. Derivatives is rather challenging. Economics, there are 2 readings in economics, the first 2 that are quite challenging. Quant can be challenging. So, a pace of 2 readings per week, that's quite aggressive considering the number of challenging readings there are at level 2. We don't spend any money in advertising, as you're probably aware. Only because advertising has a cost, and if we spend money on advertising, we would have to raise our price. So we rely very heavily on word of mouth and free advertising, which is why I do videos like this to, promote what we offer and put it on YouTube and LinkedIn so that I can get the message out about what we have without having it being reflected in our price. One of the larger players in the industry has a customer acquisition cost of $250 because of the amount of advertising it does, which means when you buy their package, they start at $250 because they charge you for all the advertising they did just to get you. I don't really agree with that. I think word of mouth is the best advertising, but you do have to get a message out. So this is really a promotional video for what we do, and me making my case of why we make sense. We charge $340 Canadian for level 2, given the current exchange rate at 138.25. That's $1 US is 138.25 Canadian. That's about 246 US dollars. And what is your 246 US dollars buying you? We do a video for all readings. And if you've been with me through level 1 or seen my level 1 videos on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to our site for level 1, you'll see it, the 2017 series there for free. I approach this content very differently. I assume you're sitting in a university classroom, and my job is to prepare you for a career, not really teach to the exam. And I do the same thing at all 3 levels of CFA content here. I do not teach to the exam. So in other words, I don't say, here's LOSA, here's what you need to know, don't worry about the rest. Here's the formula, don't worry about how we got it, you just need to memorize the formula, you're not going to be asked to derive it. I don't do that. I treat it like you're sitting in a university classroom and I'm preparing you for a career. The test is just something that you're going to write, but I do not teach to a test. I teach to the content, and I teach to what the real world is going to bring you. So my videos are more university lecture style. Plus you get the PDF, and I'll explain what the PDFs are in a little while. The end of chapter question videos. At the end of every chapter in the CFAI books, there's a number of questions that you have to answer. And sometimes the answer explanation isn't that great, so you're left wondering, okay, you've told me why it's A, but you haven't told me why it's not B. I don't understand why it couldn't possibly be B. So I do that, end of chapter question walkthroughs. I cover probably about 98% of all the end of chapter questions in the video. I do a walkthrough and I explain why something is the answer and why the other ones aren't the answers. So if you're having difficulty with 1 or 2 of them, you could just go to that video and get them done. Review videos. These are shorter versions of the video, where in the review video I'm not attempting to teach you anything, I'm just reminding you of what you should already know. And they're great 10 to 15 minute videos per reading to watch. to remind yourself of what you learned 2-3 weeks ago. Always hit those review videos repetitively, and you won't forget any of the work you've done. And plus PDF. Now the PDFs are, if you notice the screen you're looking at now, I write on a black screen. And the PDFs look exactly like that, so that you have these screenshots. But we do them in Word, and we make them look very much like the screen you're looking at, as you can see on the screen now. And they're text searchable so that you can search. This saves you a lot of time pausing the video and making notes because they're already made for you. All you have to do is have the notes in front of you. If you want to add to them, you just jot down whatever you want to add, or circle something, or underline something, or stress something. So this really takes a lot of the administrative time out of the way, because the notes that you have are already made. And if you were going to make notes based on my videos, you'd pretty much make them like this anyways, with these main points on them. Seminar videos. These are videos that I do when I see questions cluster around a particular topic. I know it's time to do a seminar video where I dive deeper into that topic. I break it down and I go even slower over that little topic. And all the seminar videos are designed to get you 2 to 3 extra points on the exam. If there's a difficult concept in the reading, but it is outside of any LOS, and there's no reason you should know it for an exam. As I said earlier, I don't teach to the exam, but there is no point in producing a 30-minute seminar on a topic which will not be on the exam. So if there is a difficult topic that I know can get you a few extra points if you just knew it better, you'll find a seminar video for that. Our question bank, which is made up of formative questions. Formative questions are questions to help you learn. Summative questions are questions to test you. Mock exams are summative questions. Question banks should be formative questions. In other words, they should not be exam style. We should not have to restrict ourselves to writing questions that can be answered in a certain amount of time. They're there to help you learn even more. We have 2,585 level 1 style multiple choice questions across all of the readings. 4 full mock exams, AM and PM. We administer them online. There is no PDF for them. We just get a lot more value out of being online. They're self-grading. So when you click done, you automatically have your grade. Not only that, you'll have your score versus the average of everyone who took that exam. And we've locked the mock exams in terms of order, so you must take them in a particular order. So mock exam 1 has an AM and a PM. Mock exam 2, same thing, you have AM and PM. When you do mock exam 1 and you get your average score, it is the average score against everyone who also only took one exam. It's the average of everyone who's done their first one. When you take mock exam 2 PM, and you get your average score is your average against everyone else who is on their 4th half exam as well. So you should see a progression in your grades, but you should also see that the average score is also increasing as well. So it's not enough to say, well, look, I did mock exams and my average score went like this. Well, what if the group is doing this, right? So you want to see what your average is against the group at the same point in time. So my average on my 6th exam was this. What is everybody else's average on their 6th exam as well? That's what I want to benchmark myself to. Doing it online allows us to bring a lot more of that benchmarking in, which I think is important. If you look at the price that we charge, 340 Canadian, and you look at 189 days, it's $1.80 Canadian a day for everything that we provide. And if you think better in US dollars, it's $1.30 US a day for everything that we provide. You can't get a small coffee from McDonald's for $1.30. Now, for those of you who were going to follow the tapering strategy that I had suggested several weeks ago, being that you've probably already prepared much of level 2 before the exam was canceled, another 6 months. You don't really need another 6 months, but you'd like to get back on track to write level 3 next June. And it's tough to do when you're writing a level 2 exam in December and you're not going to get your results to the end of January. So we recommended a tapering strategy, which means you're going to continue on with your level 2 content, and the month of November, that's your level 2 review. That's your minimum of 28 days, and if The exam is, I think, after the first week, December 5th. So you get one more week in here. So you can think of that as your 28 to 35 days if you review from November 1st to the exam date. You'll continue on with your level 2 content, but you'll start to taper in some level 3 content sometime near the beginning of August, end of July, beginning of August. You can even do it sooner. This is just, sort of stylized. And I recommend book 3 and or book 6 at the same time. They kind of build off of what's on level 2. So it's not, it'll reinforce some of the stuff at level 2, but, not a lot. There's not a lot of overlap at level 3 to level 2 content. It really sort of looks at content differently, but this is as close as you'll get. You can start tapering that in sometime August to about the end of October in this 3-month period, but this review period really should be all level 2. I wouldn't mess around with level 3 at that point in time. So this gets you started on level 3 content. After the exam, you'll want to head back to level 3. Don't wait for your results. If you've done the exam and you feel good about it, head to book 4 on level 3. By the time the results are out, you're done book 3, you're done book 6, you're done book 4, and most of book 1 because, well, it's ethics. So you've got a really good start on level 3 content going into the June exam for 2021, and you haven't lost any time. That's it.